There comes a moment in every life when the whisper you once ignored becomes a roar you can no longer silence. A moment when every closed door, every delay, and every disappointment suddenly align into one divine message: rise. Your time has come. You may not feel ready, but destiny is not waiting for your confidence. Destiny is waiting for your decision. Rising beyond limiting beliefs begins with understanding that most of the barriers holding a person back are not physical, external, or imposed by others. They are internal walls built slowly over time through doubt, past experiences, and the quiet voice that repeats old fears. When someone has lived with these thoughts long enough, they begin to believe those limits are the truth about who they are, when in reality they are only echoes of moments that no longer define them. The message to rise calls a person to outgrow the identity shaped by scarcity and step into the identity shaped by divine possibility. It requires a shift in mindset, a willingness to challenge the subconscious patterns that have kept them small, and a readiness to step into a future that demands confidence. Rising is not about denying the challenges of life, but about refusing to let those challenges write the final story. Every belief that whispers you are not enough has been learned, and anything learned can be unlearned. The moment a person chooses to rise is the moment they choose to rewrite the narrative of their life. Replace fear with faith, hesitation with action, and doubt with trust in the unseen power guiding them. Transformation begins internally long before it is visible externally. That is why dismantling limiting beliefs is a powerful first step. Every breakthrough begins with an internal shift that may feel small at first. It may sound like choosing better words, holding a stronger posture, or giving yourself permission to imagine a bigger life. These subtle shifts open mental space and emotional freedom. They create new pathways in the mind where courage can grow. Once a person starts rising inside, the world responds. Opportunities that were once invisible become clear. Possibilities that felt impossible start to feel attainable. This is how rising becomes a lifestyle, not a moment. It becomes a daily commitment to choose growth over fear and purpose over comfort. When the mind learns to release limiting beliefs, the spirit rises, and that rise becomes the force that moves a person into a life aligned with their calling. The second keynote reveals a truth many people overlook during difficult seasons. Preparation almost always happens in silence. Growth takes place in seasons where it feels like nothing is working, even when everything is working beneath the surface. A seed planted in the ground spends weeks or months hidden in darkness before it ever breaks above the soil. No one sees the roots growing or the strength developing underground. In the same way, a person may feel overlooked, forgotten, or delayed, yet life is silently shaping them into someone capable of carrying the dreams they have prayed for. Challenges do not come to break a person but to teach them endurance, clarity, and resilience. Every quiet struggle is a lesson, every disappointment is a redirection, and every setback is a refining fire. Over time, these experiences carve depth into a person. They make them stronger, wiser, and more capable than they realize. When someone is walking through a silent season, they may believe nothing is happening. They may think they are stuck or falling behind. But those thoughts rarely reflect the truth of what is unfolding. Silent preparation is subtle. It strengthens patience, teaches self-discipline, and reveals what truly matters. It helps a person learn to trust the process rather than rush the outcome. When life feels slow, it is often because something meaningful is being built within. These internal developments are the foundation for every future breakthrough. Without them, a person might step into an opportunity they are not equipped to sustain. The quiet seasons shape character and deepen faith, ensuring that when promotion comes, the person will have the strength to hold it. There's also a deeper reason why growth often comes in silence. Noise distracts, but silence develops clarity. It gives space to reflect, reconsider, and release what no longer aligns with the person you are becoming. In quiet moments, people discover truths they never noticed while rushing. They reconnect with their own inner wisdom and begin to see patterns and possibilities that were hidden before. This is a form of preparation that cannot be rushed. It requires stillness, patience, and trust that what is unseen is just as real as what is visible. When a person finally rises from a season of silence, they do so with a foundation that cannot be shaken. They carry lessons that will guide them, confidence that will strengthen them, and clarity that will keep them aligned with their purpose. Silent preparation ensures that when the moment to rise arrives, the person is not only ready but deeply grounded. Stepping into opportunities without hesitation is one of the most transformative decisions a person can make, because the moments that shape a life rarely arrive wrapped in certainty. Opportunities often appear disguised as responsibility, risk, or something that forces you to stretch beyond what feels safe. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect sign, or the perfect level of confidence before moving forward, not realizing that confidence grows after movement, not before it. When the inner call to rise becomes loud enough, hesitation becomes a barrier that keeps a person standing at the doorway of their future without ever crossing through it. Taking a step does not require full clarity. It requires trust, intention, and the courage to believe that forward motion will reveal the next step. Every important breakthrough in life demands a willingness to act even when fear is present, because progress is not the absence of fear but the ability to walk through fear with determination. Acting without hesitation does not mean acting recklessly. It means recognizing that opportunities have a lifespan, and waiting too long can cause them to fade before they fully form. Life rewards those who respond to the quiet nudge that says try, explore, begin. There is power in saying yes even when you feel unprepared. Each small yes signals that you are willing to partner with your own potential. With every step taken, new connections appear, new ideas unfold, and new paths open that were not visible from a place of stillness. What once seemed impossible becomes manageable simply because you dared to take the first action. This is how momentum begins. The universe meets those who move, because movement shows belief, and belief is the force that draws opportunity even closer. The person who walks forward with faith discovers that clarity grows with each step. The door that once felt intimidating becomes the doorway into personal transformation. There is also a deeper layer to stepping into opportunities without hesitation. When a person begins to answer the call to rise, they become aligned with a higher version of themselves. That alignment attracts experiences designed to expand them. Some opportunities will challenge comfort zones, others will challenge self-perception, but each one carries a lesson that contributes to growth. Hesitation comes from imagining everything that could go wrong, while courage imagines everything that could go right. The shift happens the moment you choose to stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios and start preparing for possibilities. This mindset creates openness, and openness is the foundation of growth. The willingness to move forward sends a message that you are ready for more, ready for responsibility, and ready for the life waiting on the other side of your courage. Releasing what cannot follow you into your next chapter is an essential part of rising. Growth is not only about gaining new things but letting go of what no longer supports your journey. Many people carry emotional and mental weight that drains their energy and slows their progress. Old disappointments, old identities, old habits, and old connections can become anchors that keep a person tied to a version of themselves they have already outgrown. Rising requires becoming lighter, and becoming lighter requires releasing the burdens that quietly shape your decisions and limit your steps. Letting go is not about erasing the past, but about recognizing that it cannot define your future. When you release what holds you down, you create space for what lifts you up. Some things are easy to release, while others require courage. Letting go of familiar patterns, even unhealthy ones, can be difficult because familiarity feels safe. Change feels uncertain, and the unknown can trigger hesitation. Yet every meaningful elevation in life demands some form of release. This may include releasing guilt for past mistakes, releasing expectations shaped by others, or releasing relationships that no longer align with your growth. These releases are not losses. They are exchanges. You release what drains your spirit to make room for what strengthens it. You release limited thinking to make room for clarity. You release outdated beliefs to make room for new perspectives. You release noise to make room for direction. Each release shifts your energy and opens a doorway to something greater. Letting go is also an act of trust. It means believing that what lies ahead is more aligned with your purpose than what lies behind. It means trusting the timing of your life enough to release your grip on what is familiar. Often, people hold on to old seasons because they are afraid they will not receive something better. But life responds to faith, not fear. When you release with intention, you signal that you are ready to grow, ready to receive, and ready to rise into the chapter calling your name. This inner shift creates a ripple effect. New ideas come more easily, new people show up in your path, and new opportunities align with your readiness. The weight that once slowed you begins to fall away, allowing your steps to become more confident and your spirit more open. The process of releasing also gives you clarity. When clutter, emotional or mental, is removed, the mind becomes sharper and the heart becomes more peaceful. In this state, decisions become clearer, intuition becomes stronger, and direction becomes visible. Without the noise of what no longer serves you, you can finally hear the guidance that was always present. This clarity is essential for rising into your next season, because new chapters require new vision. You cannot walk into a fresh future carrying the lens of an old past. Releasing is the preparation that strengthens you, refines you, and positions you for the opportunities waiting ahead. Together, stepping into opportunities without hesitation and releasing what cannot follow you form a powerful foundation for transformation. They work side by side, guiding a person from who they were into who they are becoming. When hesitation falls and unnecessary weight is released, the path becomes clearer, the spirit becomes stronger, and the rise becomes inevitable. You said, explain 5 feet 6 inches keynotes up to 2,000 words without adding end. Must be engaging, educational content. Don't add heading, give me in paragraphs. Don't add speaker name anywhere. Don't bold italic any word. Don't add symbol, like. Anywhere, must engage viewers and don't break flow anywhere. ChatGPT said, standing confidently in your identity and worth is one of the most powerful steps a person can take when stepping into a new season. Many people spend years searching for approval, validation, or permission to become who they already are inside. They shape their choices around the expectations of others and shrink themselves to avoid criticism or rejection. Confidence does not begin with external success. It begins with an internal decision to recognize your own value. When you understand who you are, you stop trying to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. You stop apologizing for your gifts, your voice, or your potential. You begin to see that you were created with intention, and every strength, talent, and instinct within you was placed there for a purpose. This awareness becomes the foundation upon which true confidence is built. It is not loud or forceful. It is rooted, calm, and unshakable because it comes from knowing you do not need permission to rise. As you learn to stand in your identity, you begin to feel the difference between living for acceptance and living from authenticity. Living for acceptance keeps you constantly adjusting yourself to meet the expectations of those around you. Living from authenticity means choosing what aligns with your inner truth, even when it is misunderstood. Authenticity attracts the right opportunities and the right people because it reflects clarity and integrity. When you are grounded in who you are, you make decisions that honor your purpose rather than decisions shaped by fear of judgment. This shift in energy changes the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, and the way you pursue your goals. Instead of hiding your dreams, you begin to protect them. Instead of questioning your worth, you begin to act in alignment with it. This inner alignment is what allows a person to rise in ways that feel natural rather than forced. Your identity is not shaped by your past mistakes or by the moments when you felt unprepared or overwhelmed. It is shaped by the resilience that carried you through those moments. Every challenge you have survived has added to your depth. Every step forward, even the ones you took trembling, has built your strength. Standing confidently in your worth means embracing the entirety of your journey and recognizing that nothing you have experienced has diminished your value. Instead, each experience has quietly refined you. Confidence grows when you stop defining yourself by temporary circumstance and start defining yourself by the truth of your inner potential. When you understand that your identity is rooted in purpose, your confidence stops depending on outcomes. You begin to carry a sense of certainty that no setback can erase. Walking forward with expectation rather than doubt is the natural result of this confidence. Expectation is not an unrealistic belief that everything will go perfectly. It is a deep knowing that your steps are guided and that the path ahead is aligned with your highest good. Doubt often comes from replaying past disappointments and imagining future failures. Expectation comes from understanding that every challenge has already contributed to your growth and that you now possess the strength to handle what comes next. When you walk with expectation, you approach life with a sense of readiness rather than fear. You begin to anticipate positive outcomes. You look at opportunities with curiosity instead of hesitation. You take actions with intention because you believe something meaningful will come from them. This mindset shifts your energy, and that shift influences every part of your journey. Expectation is a form of faith in motion. It guides your decisions, strengthens your commitment, and fuels your persistence. When you expect good things, you are more willing to take risks, more willing to stay consistent, and more willing to see beyond obstacles. Instead of assuming something will go wrong, you assume there is a way forward. This assumption becomes a powerful force that reshapes your life. People who walk with expectation notice possibilities where others see limitation. They remain open to opportunities, even if they arrive differently than imagined. They trust that closed doors are redirection rather than rejection. This perspective allows them to navigate life with resilience, hope, and determination. There is a quiet confidence that emerges when a person walks with expectation. It shows in the way they speak, the way they plan, and the way they respond to challenges. They do not crumble under pressure because they trust that pressure produces growth. They do not fear change because they understand change carries new beginnings. This type of expectation does not rely on external reassurance. It is built through experience, reflection, and a deep understanding of personal worth. When you walk forward expecting progress, you naturally act in ways that invite progress. This is where opportunity meets readiness, and where faith meets action. Walking with expectation also opens the mind to gratitude. When you expect good outcomes, you become more aware of the good already present in your life. You notice small wins, appreciate small breakthroughs, and celebrate the growth happening beneath the surface. This gratitude amplifies your energy and strengthens your ability to rise above temporary challenges. Expectation teaches you to focus on direction rather than delay. It reminds you that timing may not always be predictable, but progress is always unfolding. Standing confidently in your identity and walking forward with expectation work together like two pillars supporting your rise. One anchors you in who you are, while the other propels you toward who you are becoming. Together, they create a mindset that welcomes growth, embraces change, and trusts the unfolding of your journey. When you know your worth, you stop settling. When you walk with expectation, you stop doubting. This combination transforms your thoughts, your decisions, and the energy you bring into every moment of your life.